Hello, thank you for coming to this session today. We are going to be looking at the history and how it can impact the future using a genogram. At the end of this lesson, these are the things we should be able to do. Does somebody want to read that?
Go ahead, Nikki.
Define a genogram and its purpose. Develop and draw a two-generational GG with two symbols so they can provide usefulness in a counseling session. And develop one scenario and complete a GG to demonstrate the ability to develop a GG in the scenario and project the usefulness in a counseling session.
Sounds like fun, doesn't it?
That's right.
What does history mean to you?
I hate history.
Okay.
Good way to learn from your mistakes.
A good way to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Everything that happened in our past.
Yeah, everything that happened in our past. Learning from our history leads me to this. Does somebody want to read this quote?
I can read it. If man can learn from history, what lessons it might teach us, but passion and party might blind our eyes, and the light which experience given is a lantern on the stern, which shines only on the ways behind us. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The quotes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What does that mean to any of you? Do you have any feelings about it?
Yeah, not making the same mistake twice.
Yes. Yeah, not making the same mistake twice. Let's look at this ship. You really can't see anything with it. It's really dark. Can't see where it's been. Can't really see where it's going. We don't know why it's in the shape it's in. If we had something like a spotlight, we could see what caused it to be in the shape it's in, what the waters went through. Did it go through difficult waters like this? Maybe it went through a storm.
Oh, shoot.
Maybe its waters were like this. I want you to picture yourself as a ship.
There's your mama.
Do you look like this? Or maybe your
There's you, Justin.
Oh yeah.
history, the waters you've been through make you look like that. If we could use a spotlight, a tool like a spotlight with the boat, to see where we've been, we can see what kind of shape we are in or could be. We do have a tool like that, and it's the genogram. You've probably seen one before, even if it doesn't sound super familiar. You've either seen it or you've used one. Does this one look familiar?
It's family tree.
Family tree, or maybe you saw one in your family Bible. At the end of this lesson, again, we should be able to define a genogram and its purpose, develop and draw a two-generational genogram with two symbols so they can provide usefulness in a counseling session, develop one scenario and complete a genogram to demonstrate the ability to develop a genogram in the scenario and project the usefulness in a counseling setting. I have a video for us, but before I hit play, I have a question. Has anybody seen Star Wars?
Yes.
Yeah?
Have you seen Star Wars?
No.
Oh
You've
my
not?
lord.
What do you know about it? What
I
is
know most of the, plot points in the movie and characters.
So, some of the characters, could you tell me some of the characters?
You got Luke and Leia and Darth Vader and
Luke and Darth Vader, okay.
Luke,
Take a look.
I am your father.
I saw the new.
How's their relationship?
It's
Well,
awful.
they're fighting.
Okay.
They chopped each other up, or wanted to.
Lightsabers.
Yeah, pretty brutal.
Not a good relationship.
What is a genogram? A genogram is a special type of family tree. A family tree will simply display ancestry information. However, a genogram will display additional information about the relationships of the individuals. Genograms are drawn using standardized symbols that help the viewer understand the relationships. The basic family symbols include a square for a male and a circle for a female. Genograms also include special symbols to indicate if children are twins or if a child is a biological child or adopted, in case that information is helpful. Genograms also may include information about the actual emotional relationships. There are symbols to indicate a wide range of emotions ranging from friendship to hate. Genograms may also be used for medical and genetic analysis by simply tagging individuals with particular traits. Let's look at an example that demonstrates this. We will use Star Wars and the Skywalker family as an example. Let's start by looking at Padme's family. Her father Rui, represented by a square, mother Jabal, represented by a circle. She also has an older sister named Sola. We know she's older because she is to the left. Let's get a bigger picture. We can see that Padme is in love with Anakin Skywalker, who is the son of Shmi Skywalker and the Force. Anakin and Padme have twins, Luke and Leia. However, Anakin does not know this and does not know about Leia. Luke is adopted by Owen Lars and Barry Whiteson. Owen turns out to be the son of Cliegg Lars, who married Anakin's mother after Owen's mother died. On the other hand, Leia is adopted by Bail Presser Organa and Brea Antil, and she takes the Organa family name. Luke has a close violence relationship with his father. They fight every time they see each other. Luke is friends with Han Solo, who marries Leia, and have a child named Ben. Anakin, Luke, Leia, and Ben are strong carriers of midichlorians. We can see a pattern from which we could begin to theorize that this is a hereditary trait. As you can see, a genogram can provide a lot of information, and this is just the beginning. If you want to find
Okay. So, after that video, what is after that video, did you notice the blue squares? Darth Vader had one, and then his son had one, his daughter had one too. That's actually the Force. The Force is being passed down. An interesting fact, it seems, that even though she inherited it, she does not have the power of the Force. It goes to the son. Anything else? Did anything else pop out? Did it tell you anything?
So the Force skips generations.
Mm-hmm. What about anything else in the genogram? Kind of like a family tree, just more detailed.
Yes. A more detailed family tree of sorts. And and so the fight,
they don't get along.
right.
It tells you if there's a hostile or friendly relationship. Either way. Okay. So what is a genogram?
Was like a family tree,
Like a family tree.
except with emotion, maybe.
Which kind of answers the next one. It tells us emotions,
Oh.
how it relates to each.
Like more
each person.
information with the relationships between
Yes,
the
yes.
family tree.
And how does it look different from a family tree? How does a genogram look different?
Like the men and women were different shapes.
Yes. So the symbols. And what's the purpose of one?
So that we can see what happened, like are the negative traits of Darth Vader going to be passed down to generations? So like Kylo Ren is super angry.
Exactly.
That's his grandson, right?
It can show you stuff like that. Exactly. So has anyone ever watched Lion King? Yes.
You have seen that one then.
Yes.
Okay. But not Star Wars. It's okay.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna pair up and we're gonna play a game. See who can connect their family tree with the symbols and a genogram. And whoever can get the most on their pages will win. I'll start you off. Males are going to be a square, and females are going to be a circle.
And we just make up our little symbols like
Yes,
angry
make
and.
up the symbols.
Okay, so
And
Scar is super
so
angry. He
these-
killed
are
Mufasa.
these
That's a
the two
pretty
that
big
smatted each
Yes.
other.
badness.
Oh, one thing you may not have seen, if you put a line through or an X through, it means they have died.
Okay.
Okay,
So
he's
rock
dead.
out. He's dead because he killed him.
Boy,
So square.
boy, girl,
That's a circle.
Okay, now,
boy, girl.
how many of these would have where's Simba right here? So he has a,
I think that's a girl.
will you draw a battle
Yeah, that's a
line
girl.
from him to Scar? Because he's always
I don't
after
know what
his
that
tree.
is.
Yes,
And so
That
that's
one's
his
a
mother?
girl.
Is that?
yes. So he kind of
Boy.
had arguments
That looks.
with
I don't
her.
know what that
Well,
Or
I
is it just
think,
one?
Oh yeah,
Picture.
they're boys.
this is
Girl.
some of those that was on Scar's side, wasn't it?
And then you've got,
We're just gonna
possible
circle these. You want me to
scribbles
circle and
through.
square these?
Marriages are going to be
circle.
aligned.
Square.
Yeah.
But is he dead?
He ended up
So
dying
they're-
at the end.
These two are married.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess those two are married.
Yeah.
That's all their
All
married
right, now,
children.
which one did Simba marry?
This one.
So
Is that his-
actually,
Yeah.
at the end of the third movie, we go ahead and knock out all the people that died.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah, this one actually ended
So-
up, I think.
I don't know
dying.
this answer. I've not seen the third one.
Let's see. Scar died.
Well,
She died.
he
Oh, let's see. No, I think she lived.
he didn't like him.
All right.
No,
So
he didn't like him.
Simba
10.
didn't like
They
him?
kind of
9. The game's coming
I
to
don't
an
know.
end. 6, 5, 4,
Make a squiggle line between them because they
3,
killed each
2,
other. Or if he killed
1. Okay.
Okay.
Nikki,
Nikki may have
can
won
you be
this.
fair
No, we got this.
Yes.
and
This
see
is
who
Nikki
won?
we're talking about.
Nikki is
We got
going
this.
to be.
Okay.
I can do it.
I'll just say we won.
Yeah, we won. Yeah.
Looks like a tie to me.
I think it's a tie. Well,
Well, now we put these skigglies here.
yeah, they
They
only
do.
have one
Squiggly.
squiggly.
But there's two
We have
squigglies.
we have
They didn't put a squiggly. Okay, this is what they are missing.
Oh,
They're missing this and
yeah.
this.
What?
But we're missing this.
Uh-huh.
And they had a squiggly here.
Yeah.
Okay, you win.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Oh, they said that was
That's a guy.
that's totally a girl.
No, that's totally a
All
guy.
right.
No.
Okay.
It almost balanced out to a tie.
Okay. Almost a tie.
Yeah, because we started and come all the way around. Thank you, Christy.
We got you.
Nikki.
So, nobody won?
No, we get a tie, so everybody gets a prize.
We're winners. In the heart.
Okay. So,
In the heart.
In the heart.
I forfeit.
keep your
Squiggle.
forfeit
Because I know I really
keep
won.
the pens that you're working with, and you can pick your colors.
Oh.
Nikki can pick first since she added them up.
Take this.
What did these tell you when you were adding them up? And you were talking about it a little bit. What did it tell you about the families?
There was a lot of animosity in that family because one brother was always battling with another brother.
Well, it killed him.
He killed him.
Yeah.
And then Scar tried to get in with Simba and deceive him, but he was wise enough to pick up on it, would you say?
Well, I mean, he ran away for a while because of some of the stuff Scar said. He was pretty verbally abusive to him. He was physically abusive to his brother, but his nephew, who was mentally and verbally abusive to.
Well, did Scar try to blame Simba for his daddy's death? Is that what he...
Yeah, he knew that he had killed him, but he wanted Simba to think it was his fault. So So he was playing some
Manipulation.
Yep.
Emotional manipulation.
It was. Some problem-based learning with genograms. Okay. In our discussion board, we are going to have a thread about this a little bit later. But for right now, to help you with it, we're going to do a genogram. Okay? It can be fictional. You can work together on this. Okay? You want to flip that over?
I want to do your family
it could
tree
be-
because I want to know.
2 generations.
Alright.
2 generations. It can be fictional. It can be your family. You're going to use some of these symbols. You just used some already in The Lion King, so
Unless your family's boring, because my family's totally not boring. We got alcoholics, we got abusers, we got gamblers.
This is the granddaddy and the grandma.
So you want me to do
And,
mine?
Yeah,
this is your
unless it's
daddy,
boring.
and this is your mom.
I mean, it's boring if
So then
considering,
they
you know,
have-
everybody.
Not a
And it-
gambler.
and it
Yeah,
can
everybody's
be
just a
it can be
happy family.
fictional. It doesn't have to be your family.
A boy
Well, fictional's no fun.
and a girl.
Okay.
We can do Nikki's
And if
future
we wanted
and
to
past.
go on up
We'll
here,
do that. Alright, so here's
we
Nikki.
we could go on up here,
Yeah.
and this one over here would be
Girl,
Glenn
obviously.
She's a girl.
and
No,
Gert.
she's gonna probably get
She's-
And then
she
this
married.
one
one
would
that
be
no. We'll go with in love
Jackie's
first.
daddy, and
What's the Need to Breathe guy name?
and your.
Pick one.
And so there's your
They're-
your grandma and your
They're-
grandma, your
they're
grandpa
gonna
and
get divorced.
grandma.
We'll put that on the
married.
side.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna put that on.
And this
No,
is your
Orson's
grandpa
right
and
here.
grandma.
Oh,
This is what
yeah,
it looks
see?
like.
Here we go.
That
Seth.
size.
Okay.
Seth?
They're all
Alright.
And that, so that's
Seth
really,
is a lucky guy.
I
Here we
said
go.
1, 2, 3, that's 3
I mean, they get rid of
generations.
his first wife,
Okay.
but
And we put
See.
straight lines because all of them were married.
Yes.
a divorce.
Yeah.
Let's
But
would
now
be
these,
divorce.
these got a divorce,
Do we
so
go
that would
like-
be
kinda
2
corner it.
that look
No,
like that.
well, I draw a line and a
But
circle
Mr.
with his
Miss,
wife. And then,
Doesn't
Swan-
do the
Swan
divorce.
would
yeah,
be
and then we draw the
divorce.
2 lines
No.
through it. So
Uh-huh.
line, circle, name,
Okay.
wife.
There would be
Whichever
one.
one you want to go straight ahead or up above it, doesn't matter.
And
Or
you're not
sideways,
married,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Josh is
Sideways.
not married, so,
Alright.
and your
No
mom and daddy.
twins.
Oh,
Oh, we can put the X
No.
for passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have
Passed
an
away.
affair?
And she's,
Ooh.
no,
terrible.
she's,
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
uh,
Let's do an affair.
Gert's still
Yeah,
alive.
she's still alive.
Yeah.
And
So that would, so we'd do
then
What
what?
about- how about we do a double?
Dot
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
What about Star?
Right to the set.
Your
Yeah.
dog?
We'll do in
Your
love
dog?
and in
Your
affair. That'd be good.
cow or your horse?
And the colors are important, and I didn't point that out, so,
So,
I apologize. You can use the
Jackie
crayons.
had
You can go back to it.
a
Okay,
horse,
so what was
Wife.
we'll say Katie.
and
Wow.
it passed away.
Yeah.
So
I
what
don't
do
think
we?
you can use horses in a
Yeah,
genogram.
the
Right
pen,
there.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can.
Very
You
detailed.
Okay.
Alright.
and it's supposed to
And
be.
it's passed away now.
So
See, that is a
they have a
that is a
kid.
broken line to the pet, and where is it?
And they had a
We
pet.
just put an X on it. if
Ostrich.
It
Pet
passes
ostrich,
away.
okay.
Pet ostrich.
So
Let's see
we'll
if we
put
go
ostrich.
to.
Did
We're gonna
did
do
Josh
that.
ever have a pet?
It's a diamond.
Nah.
Start winding it down.
I don't know how to spell it.
Just
Okay.
CH.
Okay.
We'll
We're
know.
winding
Okay,
it.
that'd be good.
I don't
Oh,
know how to spell ostrich.
and
Male or
yeah,
female?
but we're not going to do the
Just-
twins.
I think it has to be a
that
diamond.
side.
Ah, it's been on.
It doesn't. They don't
Six.
care.
5,
That'd be interesting, like twins,
Oh,
but not
yeah.
to say twins
They-
in a
Uh-huh.
generation.
3,
Yeah.
Had
2, 1.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I got mine drawn.
They had a big box.
Okay. What did this tell you about your family or your fictional family?
Nikki, I never knew
yeah, it's
that
crazy.
you were capable of such things,
Yeah.
and your children's are going to be harmless.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's look at this one.
This one is a,
multi-generational.
A non-fiction one here.
Okay. Was there any sort of abuse
There was a divorce.
A divorce?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any substance abuse in it?
Not
Well, if we want to get technical,
Okay.
I'm thinking this papa right here was known to be a moonshiner.
Yeah,
Okay.
This one right here.
yeah.
Good.
And
So you be careful around the hooch.
Mm-hmm.
Jolene had several affairs.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, the tree hasn't gone down far enough yet
Oh,
to see if
okay.
that one's gonna pass down yet.
We can't. There's no judging in.
Livestock.
No judging in
Okay.
livestock.
We're just
We're,
doing
ju-
this.
we're just looking to see how it would be
Yeah.
helpful
How
in the future.
exactly.
Yeah.
That is the purpose in it. We have someone who was a moonshiner. Somebody in their family could very well fall into the same pattern, which is a cycle. It takes a lot of work to get out of a cycle once
We
you fall
did-
into one of those.
We did
Has-
have you having an affair in your future fictional self. Oh
Oh,
no.
Okay, like with the moonshiner, let's say one of their children, somebody went up to him and said they won't be anything because your grandfather was a moonshiner. Has anybody ever heard something like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Somebody recognizes that this was in their past or their heritage, their history, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to step out of that cycle, and it can be difficult to break it, but it's very doable. It's very hopeful, which is one of the reasons we use a genogram.
For hope.
Yes, for hope. Can you think of any other helpful things with a genogram? To do that, we're going to do think, pair, and share for just a minute. Think on your own. And then you're going to communicate with your teammate, and then all of you together. Okay? What situation in the recent past could have been beneficial from using a genogram? Has anything happened lately? And then after that, how would it be used in a counseling setting? So these are the things you're going to think about. Think of a situation that it could have been helpful, and then how you may use it in a counseling setting.
Well,
Like-
obviously with alcohol abuse or anything
See,
in the family, it's just
What
something
happened
for
was
me to be
Nikki
aware
had an
of.
affair with a Seth
In
guy.
the future
And it just so
generations that
happened,
you can say, hey, this could have
Seth
been a
and
problem.
Katie
You need
had
to be
this
very
kid.
careful with.
But somehow, mysteriously, Katie died.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they got picked up and got an ostrich.
I think an ostrich.
Yeah, the ostrich got pregnant somehow.
As
Now,
for
their kid, on the other
counseling
hand, the
setting,
bad side from Katie,
I mean, you can
let's
see
see,
obviously
had Charlie, and
this
so
doesn't
Charlie and
pass down
Haley got together.
every,
And
it's not like
then
an ongoing thing,
they
so
couldn't
it's
have
obviously
kids.
a cycle that could be
So then they had to get
Yeah.
a foster
like she
child
said, with
named
hope and
Julius
stuff.
Julio
And I-
Guerrero.
Feel that it
Okay.
was
Yeah.
broken with Jackie.
So that's what
I mean,
happened.
it's
This was
obvious.
the bad
Yeah.
side. This was
All
the
right,
good side.
let's start talking to the rest of the class. Heard you talking about your group again. If you could discuss how you may be able to help that person in counseling.
Okay, so like for mine as an example, if there is the rumored, alcohol abuse with my grandfather, it's just something to be aware of in the future. Not only with my generation, but any future generations. Just say, hey, be aware of this. You need to be very careful with substance abuse or anything because it does run in the family. But as for using it in a counseling setting, just looking at the picture, you can see that. Obviously the pattern has been broken at some point. It's not an ongoing issue, so that, like you said, provides hope to someone.
But let's say it had continued and somebody came to you. Cognitive behavioral therapy, a lot of times a genogram helps with that because you see a behavior, you're trying to change it, that's somebody trying to get out of the cycle.
And as far as Jackie's grandparents on her daddy's side being divorced, see, that's been broken too because Jackie and Charles are still together,
So sweet and love each other so much.
Mhm.
They do.
But,
So I'm-
you know, if they had started having trouble, if they had gone to a counseling setting, they would have looked at that past and discussed that
Mhm.
and worked through that.
Happy wife, happy life.
So what are we over here? Oh, that little
Alright.
one.
Okay. Alright. So, after all of our exercises and everything, what is a genogram?
Genogram is a family tree of sorts
Yes.
that brings certain things into light from past generations.
So it's what it can tell us and what we might be able to expect and go from there. The purpose of a genogram. Does it have a purpose?
It does.
What is its purpose?
To keep us from
Yeah, it makes us more aware of things that's happened in the past to keep us from doing it in the future.
To keep us from doing
give
it?
us hope.
Gives us hope. What to expect. Do you think after what you've learned today, is a genogram something you would ever want to use?
Yeah.
I think on a daily basis, in a sense, we do, because we have to look at our family to know sort of what we're going to be like, and we use it all the time, more than we think we do.
It would be interesting to track back, several more generations
Mhm.
to see patterns too.
It would. Do you feel a little bit more comfortable using this in a counseling setting and think it would be useful whenever you're meeting with clients?
Yeah. I use
Very much, yeah.
especially when I work with new moms and nursing, to go back and see, where they came from, like the reasons that their parents didn't nurse or did nurse, and how to help them go
Mhm.
through that, or if there's a history of abuse or anything. Really, it helps on so many different levels.
It does. It does. Okay. Before our next session, we have a few things we need to do. There's an exam in Blackboard, the GenoPro download. I need you to work in this. It's a free download. Instructions are on Blackboard and assignments. You're going to work on your genogram a little bit further. This, again, can either be a real one or a fictional. And then we are going to discuss in Blackboard. You're going to have to, it's going to be 400 words. Again, all instructions are on Blackboard for you. This is a pretty big assignment. It's going to be 50% of your grade. Thank you for coming today, and I'm going to leave you with this Bible verse.
You want us to read it? Let's all read it together. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11.